Hey, I didn't see you out there. How are you? I hope you're doing well. You know what? Since you're already here, I had these to put up. I'll just take you with me today. While I put these up, my roommate Max has something to say.
What mistakes did you make, and how did you grow from them?
Alright, that's a great question, Max. During my time as an RA, I honestly made a lot of mistakes. I remember the first few weeks when I started this job, I had a problem submitting my work on time. I remember I would always get reminders from my RD saying that the deadline is approaching and I didn't submit it yet. So I think one of my biggest mistakes was submitting my stuff on time. And as the position went through, I learned that I have to pre-prepare, know what I'm going to do and when I'm going to do it. That definitely helped me. And I think that really helped me. And now I know what to do and when to do it. Also, I remember one time, one time I was down here in the hallway and I saw something that wasn't really appropriate, and I decided to ignore it and take a picture of it, and that probably wasn't the best thing to do at the time. That was a big learning moment for me, seeing that happened, and I decided to react to it, maybe not in the right way. But now that I know what happened, I'm definitely more prepared to deal with situations like that. Also, I remember my first IR. The first IR I ever wrote was horrible. I remember I wrote that, and I wrote it all in first person. I wrote, I did this, and that happened, and that was a very bad thing that I did. But since then, I learned that IRs are written in obviously third person terms, and since then they got so much better. And definitely being on time. I'm known, unfortunately, for being late, but as it progressed, I definitely became a better RA at doing that. I showed up better at time. I set reminders, I set timers, I set in my calendar where do I need to be at what times, and that helped me a lot. So yeah, it's a great question, Max. Thank you for asking me that. I know I said I'll just put it up and I'll leave, but you know what? Let me just take you on a day in my life. Right now, I think it's time for me to go to study. So I'll go to the library, and I think Warren Shaw from Touria Services wanted to talk to you guys. He wanted to ask me a question.
What qualities would you say make you a good RA?
All right, that's a great question. I would say that I am a very, very outgoing person, and I believe my personality makes me a very approachable person. As an RA, you're gonna have to interact with so many people on the daily, on the top of them being your residents. And for me, my residents are the most important thing. So being approachable is a very good skill to have, and I believe I have that skill. They can always talk to me about their issues. They can always talk to me about their personal issues, things that I could possibly help with, maybe sit down and talk with them about it. Or things as simple as, hey, can I get some toilet paper? Not having to think about it twice, or not having to go to another RA they may already know. I can refer people to areas that they can find the help they need. So right now I'm sitting in the Trio office, and behind the camera is Mr. Warren Shaw. So things like this, knowing him enables me to tell other people about him, about the sort of resources that he offers and his office offers. And knowing people around the library helps me connect them to the right resources as the ACTC, other resources like the Math Center, the Writing Center, whatever it may be, or even the housing office for help that they may need. All right, guys, now it's time for me to go to my ISA, International Students Association meeting. And Adina Francescu, she is the advisor of the club. She also wanted to ask me a question. So let's go.
How does being involved in extracurricular activities help you become a better RA?
All right, being in extracurricular activities is one of my favorite things to do on campus. Even before I was an RA, I was a very involved person around campus, and to me, my favorite extracurricular activity is being a resident advisor. But being a ISA, International Student Association vice president previously, and now a event manager, also being part of Student Athlete Advisory Committee, SBS, and many other activities on campus, they help me become a better RA by helping me improve and broaden my leadership skills. There's a lot more that goes into leadership and you get to see it when you are part of many different organizations. There's so many different people and there's so many different styles of leadership. One of the main things that helped me being in extracurriculars and helped me be a better RA is that I already had a background of how to use Experience Bit. XP is an integral part of extracurriculars. We use it for events. We are involved with many other clubs, and I see the events that they do. They're so inspired by those. My events are mainly inspired by what my residents want and what I do outside of class and outside of being an RA as well. Being in extracurriculars and in leadership positions also helped me connect with so many different people on campus. I am able to know Adina, for example, and I'm able to point people towards her when they need her help. Hey guys, so now it's time for me to have some dinner. So I'm out here with my friends, and we have a special guest today. Heyo! See you guys. Alright guys, I just had dinner. I think now it's time for me to go to the gym, and I think Coach Whitehurst wanted to talk to me. So I'll see you there.
So Zoal, how do you manage your time?
I like to have a piece of paper. I write schedule on the top of it, and I divide my morning. So the mornings are usually for me. I like to spend the time right after class for academics, so I go to the library studying. So that helps me a lot in boosting my academic standing. Usually I go back to my room and work on my RA activities and everything else that I do with regards to my job. And then at night is usually when I have events, or when I hang out with my residents, or when I hang out with my roommates or my teammates or anything else like that. So this is how I usually divide my time. I like to plan it out beforehand and then follow through with the schedule that I made. Thank you. I think RA Lily had an event, so I'm going to her event, and she had a little bit of a question for me, so I'm going to answer it too.
Hi Zoal, what impacts do you think you had as an RA?
That's a great question, Lily. Thank you for asking me that. I think as an RA, I had a lot of impacts on my residents. I think I was one of the more impactful RAs on my residents. I was lucky enough to get a floor that was already pre-established, people who were mostly friends before I was there. But I believe the impact that I had on them is that I made them more of friends than they were before I was there. I believe the events that I had and the things that I did, always being there, always connecting them to each other, always talking to them. I believe the friendships that we created in my floor will forever be there and will forever live in their friendships. And it will be a time that they talk about to their family, to their friends, and to their kids in the future. I believe that I was very active, and so my floor became very active too. They're always outgoing. I always see them around campus. They're always involved in activities, and they're always making me proud. I have I have a resident that works now off campus and still is a student. I have a resident who's student teaching. I have a resident who just applied for the position to be an RA as well. So they're always doing things, and they're always making me proud as their RA. So I hope, and I believe as well, that these were all results in some way or form because I was there and because I was a positive impact to them. All right, we are going to have a RA program in a minute, and some of my residents wanted to talk to me and ask me a question too. So let's see what they have.
What did you like about being an RA?
Thank you for that question. I liked a lot of things about being an RA. It was honestly one of my favorite things that I ever did in my life. Alongside it being a learning experience, it was a lot of helping other people. And that is why I even chose to do this in the first place. I wanted to help people, and it can range from the smallest things to just giving them toilet paper or helping them get the vacuum to referring them to a professor or giving them an email so that they can get their business done, whatever it may be. I enjoyed helping people, and that was the main thing that I really enjoyed. I also enjoyed bringing people together. There was a lot of people on my floor that knew each other a little bit, and as I said before, a lot of people on my floor already knew each other beforehand, but I believe that what I was able to do here is bring them more together. And that was one of my favorite parts, creating events where they show up and start talking with each other and creating memories that will forever be told. All right, now it's about time for me to go to bed. But before I do that, I just wanted to come out here and say thank you all for all of your love and support that I had throughout the last 7 or 8 months or so. Your support, your teachings, everything that you taught me, everything that I learned from you, made me a better RA. And I appreciate all your belief that you had in me throughout these 7 months, throughout these 8 months, throughout these 2 semesters. You definitely made me a better RA, so thank all of you. And I hope that this video and what I did over the last 2 semesters was enough to convince you to give me another shot at this job. And it was honestly the best decision that I have made. And I would love to do it again, and I would love to do it as long as I am here. Thank you so much. See ya.